see. All right. It is great to be here as we're getting ready for the home stretch of the 26th year of Noir City Hollywood. Thank you for coming. Tonight is Film Noir Foundation Night Deluxe, because the two films you're going to see tonight, Cry Danger and The Prowler, were both restored by the Film Noir Foundation with money from the Film Noir Foundation, by the UCLA Film and Television Archive, and these were I believe, our earliest restorations.
Wow.
And they're going to be shown in the 35 millimeter prints that we restored, of the negative we restored. So with that, we are having another donation drive for the Film Noir Foundation, and this is a way you can show your support, your devotion, and all of that other good things for film preservation in this festival and everything we do, by donating and seeing Margaret at the merchandise table after the screening. And those who donate more than $20, they'll have their names taken down for a drawing. And if you win the drawing, you will get all kinds of cool presentos, or some of our Blu-rays, books, and I'm even throwing in my book on Blood on the Moon, which I will be glad to sign for whoever wins. So there you have it. So at any event, and I'm going to put the book down now, and I'm going to talk about the movie Cry Danger. And how many people have not seen Cry Danger? Okay, great. You're in for a real treat. This is really one of the quintessential shot in Los Angeles film noir movies. You'll love it because you're going to go see the new Grand Hotel in Bunker Hill, the Los Amigos Bar on 3rd Street, the Clover Trailer Park that used to overlook downtown LA, and Union Station, of course, where every great film noir opens, and instead of Dick Powell getting out of the army with amnesia due to a head wound, he's getting out of prison. And of course, there's two people waiting for him. One is a LAPD cop, and that has to be Regis Toomey, because this film was film noir. And the other one is the one and only Dick Erdman, who, after we showed this film, or actually before that, became my really, really close friend, and Oscar parties and dinners out. And I have to say, as funny as Dick Erdman is in this film, he was just as funny in real life, and I sure as hell miss him. Both of these films, by the way, were restored. The lead restorations for UCLA was a great woman by the name of Nancy Mizell, who unfortunately and sadly passed away of cancer in 2012. And the Film Noir Foundation, with her parents, ran a scholarship fund for young film preservationists for several years in Nancy's name. So we'll always remember her. Dick Powell, at this time, he had already made the transition from song and dance man at Warner Brothers to Philip Marlowe, and then he was in Cornered and Station West. And now in this film, he was one of the producers of this film. And he hired Robert Parrish. This was Robert Parrish's directorial debut. For those of you not familiar with Parrish, he was an Oscar-winning editor. He won the Oscar for cutting John Ford's They Were Expendable. He also took All the King's Men when they had so much film that they didn't know how to cut it, and Robert Ross and the director didn't know how to cut it, and Parrish said, just take the reel and turn it so many cranks back this way, then cut a piece out and take so many cranks that way. And you know what? That's exactly what they did, and the film won Best Picture Oscars. Go figure. But Dick Powell really became a powerhouse entertainment in Hollywood. He started 4-Star Productions, Zane Grey Theater, Dick Powell Theater, The Rifleman, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he's really been forgotten, but he was really a pioneer in early television and movie production. Also, alongside Dick is the Queen of Technicolor, but tonight in black and white, the one and only Rhonda Fleming is in this movie, and she is fabulous. And I think if memory serves, Rhonda was going to be one of Eddie's Dark City dames in the original book, but I think Rhonda, who married the magnate of the theater chain that used to own the Chinese theater, among other things, she wanted a little more editorial control over her personal life that Eddie was willing to give. So that didn't work out. But Rhonda, she was a guest at the TCM Festival. She's been a guest here for this film with Dick Erdman back when we first preserved this film, and a great, great lady, a great, great actress who is missed. And the key guy for me in this film is Bill Bowers, who wrote the screenplay. And Bill Bowers was a guy, he wrote The Sheep Man, Pitfall, Crisscross, The Mob, many, many noirs. He also wrote into the, I believe, the late 60s, 70s, Support Your Local Sheriff, which was a terrific film. And Bill was one of the funniest guys on the planet, and his scripts always have an element of humor involved, and you're going to see a lot of that. And Dick Erdman told me when he got hired for this, he met Dick Powell, and Dick Powell said, you know, you've got the best part in the movie. You know that. And Dick said, modestly, of course, yeah, you're right, I know that. He first met Bowers when Bowers was in a room with a legal pad and a bottle of whiskey writing, and they became fast friends. And Bowers really does a great job with this script, with many of the scripts. And for those that want to get a look at Bill Bowers, he became very close and friendly with Francis Coppola. And if you watch The Godfather Part 2, when Al Pacino is being questioned by the Senate committee, Bill Bowers is the chairman, the beetle-browed, balding guy with the glasses. You know, I'm going to find out what's going on here. That is Bill, sitting with Roger Corman, by the way, because Francis did not want anyone, Watergate had just happened, he didn't want anyone on that looked like an actor. So he got a whole bunch of friends of his who were non-actors and did that. Bill, one of the things he did, which will kind of give you an insight into his comedy, when he moved, he lived up in Beverly Hills, and he was there, and Harry Morgan moved in, the actor next door, so he went across the street and he said, can Harry come out and play? And he was a riot. At his eulogy, he died in '87, in the 50s, one of the things Forest Lawn had as on a billboard is they had an advertisement, protect your loved ones from seepage.
Oh my.
So in other words, our coffins don't leak. So Bill got dressed up, went to Forest Lawn, and he got like a coffin, a plot, and everything. And then he told Forest Lawn, there's one thing that I'd like to say, my family and I would like seepage. We want to buy seepage. So they finally caught on to him and they threw him out. And then later he wrote them a letter saying, I want my ashes scattered at Forest Lawn. And Forest Lawn said, well, you can't do that because of the property rules in Los Angeles. This is a residential area. And Bill wrote back, it will be one of the great legal battles of our time to determine if Forest Lawn really is a residential area because everyone there is dead. And so this went back and forth. So when he passed, and his sons and his daughter, they had a big eulogy and a party at his house, and they scattered his ashes in the Pacific, and I can truthfully say that they saved enough of Bill's ashes where his promise to Forest Lawn was fulfilled.
That was so funny.
So anyway, with that, enjoy this. And you also have the great William Conrad in this, if I didn't mention him. But this is a really, really fun, great movie, and I know you'll love it. So Pride Danger and Eddie will be back to introduce The Prowler. So enjoy the show. Thank you for coming.